Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael.
Think back to when Michael Jordan's name alone could sell out sneakers and pack arenas. Fast forward to today, and we're witnessing a similar buzz with Caitlin Clark. She's not just lighting up the scoreboard, she's shaking the very foundation of women's basketball. WNBA veterans are starting to feel the pressure, and it's not just from the summer heat. Her latest deal draws striking comparisons to the influence MJ once had. With unmatched skills and growing star power, Caitlin is carving out a new chapter in basketball history, one that could mark the beginning of her own era.
It was like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, probably eventually Caitlin Clark, where it's like individual people make an entire country tune into their sport.
1,000%.
Like hockey was never bigger than when Wayne Gretzky was playing it, and it was ridiculous how much it grew the sport.
Tiger Woods.
Caitlin Clark isn't just selling jerseys or sneakers, she's transforming the culture of basketball itself. Her landmark deal with $1 billion brand has the sports world buzzing, and some longtime players can feel the shift. This isn't just another endorsement, it's the most game-changing partnership since a young star from North Carolina teamed up with a certain swoosh and changed sneaker history forever. Now, the spotlight shines on Clark, not only dominating the hardwood but also redefining what it means to be a modern athlete in business. Stick around, because we'll wrap things up with inspiring words from Jordan himself and reveal a surprising stat that connects his legacy with Clark's rising empire. Ready? Let's get started.
She's incredible. Congratulations to her and her family.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's...
Let's break this down. Wilson, the official basketball partner of both the NBA and WNBA, just made history by giving Caitlin Clark her very own signature collection. And here's the kicker, no female athlete has had this kind of launch since Michael Jordan. You can almost sense the tension, especially with legends like Sheryl Swoopes, who's been talking about Clark more than her own Hall of Fame career lately. That says a lot about Caitlin's growing influence. This isn't your average gym ball we're talking about. Clark's line features sleek white and gold designs, each laser-etched to showcase milestones from her career. There's the threes-up ball, celebrating her deep shooting range. The record breaker, a nod to her stats and shattered records. And the crowd maestro, honoring her ability to electrify arenas the way a superstar performer owns the stage. With every detail, Caitlin Clark isn't just playing the game, she's rewriting what it means to be a modern sports icon.
The first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from Wilson.
Wilson could barely keep up. Tens of thousands of Caitlin Clark's signature basketballs were gone in under 40 minutes, faster than it takes Aya Wilson to fire off one of her mysterious tweets. This wasn't a casual product drop, it was a cultural moment, the kind of frenzy you'd expect from a new iPhone release or a limited edition collab with Travis Scott, and just when it seemed the hype couldn't climb any higher, Clark raised the bar again, this time teaming up with a major grocery chain. That's right, her name is now moving products in the aisles, not just in arenas. Caitlin Clark is pulling off sneaker-level sellouts with supermarket partnerships, proving her influence is crossing boundaries and blending sports with everyday life like never before.
Calling all Caitlin Clark fans, 2 new limited edition basketballs are now available at select Hy-Vee stores. The designs are part of the Inspire series that Clark is doing in partnership with Wilson Sporting Goods. The tribute ball pays homage to Clark's time with the Iowa women's basketball team, and the Dreamer ball is designed to encourage athletes to pursue their dreams. Both are available in sizes 3 and 6 at select.
According to Wilson's head of global brand, Amanda Lamb, Caitlin Clark isn't just a record-breaking athlete, she's a cultural force. In other words, she's not simply another star in the league, she's the star. That's why Wilson is placing her at the center of their women's basketball strategy, not as a short-term campaign, but as the cornerstone of a brand evolution. With Clark as the face of their future, Wilson is signaling a seismic shift, one that redefines women's basketball and pushes the sport to new heights on a global stage.
When you take into stock the fact that outside of Kevin Durant, aging superstar, LeBron James, 40 years old, and Steph Curry, there's not a single NBA player more popular today than Caitlin Clark.
The ripple effects of Caitlin Clark's rise are shaking the entire league. Moves like hers are rewriting what's possible for female athletes everywhere. She's not just cashing in on endorsements, she's flipping the entire playbook, leading some outspoken critics on the outside looking in, and the numbers tell the story better than any tweet ever could. Clark's WNBA games are pulling in an average of 1.18 million viewers, triple the league's norm. That's not raising the bar, that's launching it into orbit. This rookie is single-handedly expanding the WNBA's audience and proving her influence reaches far beyond the court. And here's the wild part, she's only getting started.
We knew Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. Two of them being Messi and
packed arenas, record-breaking TV ratings, viral highlights lighting up social media week after week. Caitlin Clark is rewriting the story of women's basketball in real time. Fans who barely knew the WNBA existed a year ago are now planning their evenings around fever games. Why? Because every time Clark hits the hardwood, it's not just basketball, it's entertainment. She's a one-woman ratings machine and an economic engine for the league, drawing in crowds who've never tuned into women's hoops before. For Gen Z, she's a trailblazing role model. For older fans, she sparks memories of Larry Bird, only now, paired with a modern social media presence. Middle America is embracing fever basketball with the kind of loyalty usually reserved for the NFL. Everyone wants a piece of the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. Well, almost everyone. A handful of veterans are still struggling to process how she managed to eclipse them simply by being herself.
But for Caitlin Clark, on a worldwide marketability list for athletes, to be ahead of both Messi and Ronaldo is quite impressive. Steph Curry is behind her.
While some players, like Dejounte Carrington, waste energy subtweeting Caitlin Clark and questioning her rise, Clark is busy building a billion-dollar brand. By partnering with Wilson, she's entered an elite circle that until now only included Michael Jordan. Critics can talk all they want, but the numbers don't lie. This is just the beginning of her journey. And don't just take my word for it. Mike Breen, the legendary voice of the NBA, placed her name in the same breath as basketball royalty, a compliment that cements her place in the game's narrative. This isn't hype. This is history in the making. Caitlin Clark is carving out her legacy, and the momentum surrounding her is only getting stronger.
She's doing rating-wise for the WNBA what Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry have been doing for the NBA.
This story isn't just about what Caitlin Clark does between the lines, it's about the shockwaves she's sending far beyond the court. She's gone from being the biggest headline in basketball to becoming one of the most powerful brands in sports. Industry insiders now rank her as the fourth most marketable athlete on the planet, not just in the WNBA, not just in women's hoops, but globally. That puts her ahead of entire leagues and household name stars. Meanwhile, a few critics are still busy subtweeting from the sidelines while Clark is outpacing marketing departments worldwide. Think about that. She's not just part of the conversation, she is the conversation. With Clark in the spotlight, the WNBA is finally stepping into true prime time. Sponsorships are pouring in, national TV coverage is expanding, and women's basketball is claiming a seat at the main table like never before. The future has never looked brighter, and Caitlin Clark is the one leading the way.
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists. Okay. To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the